What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today is day 9 of the 6th annual 10 Days of Pumpkin here on the channel. The beer I'm reviewing today once again comes from the Imprint Beer Company, and they're out of Hatfield, Pennsylvania, and this is their Origins, the Pumpkin Spice Latte variant. So they're calling this one a cold brew coffee stout that is brewed with Ethiopian Yirgacheffe single origin coffee, pumpkin spice, and lactose. It comes in at 10.5% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed in time of review. And this can is just under 2 months old. So I wanted to pick up a pumpkin beer from Imprint to review this year because last year I picked up one of their schmoogies. I think it was the pumpkin pie cheesecake beer last year. I think it was their puffsicle. And it was good, but really, really sweet. So they released a couple more schmoogies this year, but I didn't want to review them. So I saw this. I was like, yeah, let's go. A big Imperial cold brew coffee stout with pumpkin spice, lactose. Let's give it a go. So I grabbed this one, and I'm really looking forward to it. Now, they are using Split Theory Coffee, which I believe is a part of basically Imprint, or like the sister company to Imprint. They're using cold brew coffee. They're using Yirgacheffe single origin coffee. And yeah, I'm really excited. They don't say exactly what pumpkin spice they're using, but they do also mention lactose, like I said, on this one. So this is like a pumpkin spice latte, like they said, in 10.5% Imperial Stout form. So let's give it a pour here. See what we got. Oh yeah, that's pouring out like motor oil. Big, thick boy. Give it a hard pour here and see if we can generate a head. Not really. But I'm looking forward to this. They actually, I think their Origins is a series of like cold brew coffee stouts with different single origin coffees. Pretty sure. I'm not a coffee nerd, so I don't really know. But yeah, that's pitch black. Hold it up to the light. Yeah, it's pitch black. Has about a quarter of a finger of a dark brown, almost darker than mocha colored head. There's a lot of alcohol legs on the glass. Some decent carbonation from the bottom I can see. But yeah, that plays the role of a huge Imperial Stout of some sort. Let's get a nose. Ooh. So again, I'm not a coffee nerd. How the hell did beer go everywhere? I feel like I didn't... Yeah, I think we're good. It's funny, when I'm done reviewing, if I review 1 or 2 in a day, like I'll look at the table and sometimes it'll just be beer everywhere. Anyway, yeah, I'm not, again, a coffee nerd or anything, so I don't know as far as like what I should be smelling or tasting out of this specific coffee, but I'm getting like berries in here, which is interesting. There's like brown sugar and caramel, hugely roasted malt. There's chocolate, like a dark chocolate, but like a 70-80% cacao bar. The pumpkin spice is there, but it's more subtle. I'm getting a little bit of cinnamon and nutmeg, maybe allspice. Touch of vanilla could be coming from the lactose. Could be coming from the base beer, who knows. It smells really nice though. And then yeah, that coffee, I'm getting a nice roasted coffee, but I'm also getting like a berry, kind of like a blueberry, mixed berry. It smells really nice. Like, if there wasn't pumpkin spice in here, I just think this as like an Imperial coffee stout would smell phenomenal. And the pumpkin spice, really not taking away from it. So it's beautiful, a beautiful nose. But I'm trying to like pull out the pumpkin spice aromas. And again, they're not that plentiful. It's just kind of there. It smells really awesome. Let's get into it. Cheers, everyone. That is a really tasty Imperial coffee stout. Like really nice. The problem I'll have on that first sip is that I'm not getting a ton of pumpkin spice. Should that matter? I guess for a pumpkin beer it should. But like as a beer goes, that's fucking pretty delicious. Buying this is phenomenal. This is straight on full body. It's thick, it's syrupy. It's not over the top. Like I'm not chewing it. But for 10.5%, yes, like the body's phenomenal. The mouthfeel, decent carbonation, mild to moderate carbonation, probably more approaching moderate, but it has a smooth creaminess to the mouthfeel that really enhances the overall experience of the body and mouthfeel itself. The taste. If you just told me this was an Imperial Coffee Stout, I'd be like, yeah, for sure. Forefront, roasted malt, dark, again, 60, 70, 80% cacao bar, brown sugar, molasses, a little bit of caramel on top. Like, this is very complex malt. Right, and that's the first half of the palate. As it passes through, a little bit of vanilla, and then the coffee hits, and it's a nice, like, medium to dark roasted coffee. At least it seems like that. Touch of that mixed berry I was talking about in the nose. And then on the finish is where I get the pumpkin spice. It's more of a cinnamon and allspice kind of dryness. It just lingers on the palate too. So I'm actually very, because I think this base beer is fucking, it's really, the base beer is delicious. Plain and simple. The body's phenomenal. The mouthfeel is spectacular. And the taste of the first 3/4 of this beer is excellent. And then on the finish, you get that accentuation of the pumpkin spice. I don't think they use real pumpkin here. I love that the lactose is probably helping that mouthfeel and maybe even the body, right? But it's not too sweet, and I'm not getting that like substantial like lactose sweetness that's kind of just bogging this down. That's not happening. That body's fucking phenomenal. It's not thin in the least. I'm pouring the rest of this, spilling it on my table. This is an awesome Imperial Coffee Stout, Imperial Cold Brew Coffee Stout. I have to try more if I can get my hands on it, because we get drops occasionally of Imprint stuff, and a lot of times it's their schmoogies, you know, heavily fruited sours. We don't see a lot of darker beers from them. Another reason I picked this one up, we don't get a lot of Imperial Stouts general from them. This is, it's giving me like the sticky lips, so you do get, I mean, this is sweet, don't get me wrong. This leans sweeter. So while you have that dryness from like what I perceive to be cinnamon and allspice on the finish, it's still lean sweet. So while this is like semi-dry in the finish, no bitterness to speak of. You're just getting the coffee flavor. There's no bitterness that accompanies that. 10.5%, absolutely no warming in the chest, which is insane. I could tell this is like a 10% beer because of the body itself and the flavors, but there's no way that you would say that this is boozy for what it is. At least I don't think so. This is a great beer. If I have to say, how does this fit as a pumpkin spiced beer? It's good as a pumpkin. So I'll give 2 ratings on this, because I feel as a pumpkin spiced beer, this isn't going to get nearly as high as an overall beer. So we're going to say Origins, the pumpkin spice latte variant, which I really like that, you know, they do different variants of this, which I'll have to pick up. But I also, you know, a very simplistic label in general, nothing too crazy. I like that they put kind of on the back here, it says geography, Ethiopia, flavors, pumpkin spice, processing, fully washed, roast, 3 out of 5. And I would say, yeah, the roast, I said medium to dark. I would say more medium, so 3 out of 5 makes sense. But like this beer itself is just really well done in general. I'm going to give it 2 ratings. Pumpkins, like a pumpkin spice Imperial cold brew coffee stout, I'd probably give this like a high 4. I'd go like 4.1. But as a beer overall, this beer, as the kids would say, slaps, right? This beer is fire. Dare I say fire. This is a 4.5 out of 5 all day, this beer. 100%. It's just really fucking good. Body mouthfeel, next level. And if I was doing this blind, I would give this a 4.5 out of 5, because I wouldn't be like, oh, it's supposed to be a pumpkin spice beer. No, I'm just tasting what I'm tasting. What I'm tasting is awesomeness. Price point, availability. Price point, I don't know. I picked this up at a bottle shop in Rochester, outside of Rochester in Greece, New York, called One Stop Brew Shop. And I think I bought like 6 beers and it was like 31 bucks. I would guess this was like $6, maybe 7 max. For that price point, all day, 10.5%, 16-ounce can, pumpkin spice, crazy cold brew coffee, deliciousness. No, I would pay up to $10 for that can. Plain and simple. If you put this in a 22-ounce bomber at 10.5% and sold it and it was $15, like, do the math here. It's a 16-ounce can for $7 or $8 all day long. So if you know what you paid for it or you know the price point on this, let me know. And availability, it's Imprint outside of like them being in PA and probably getting them on some like, you know, online websites like Tavor and this and that. And like, you know, I'm trying to think of other places. I said this and that because I was trying to think of other places, but like Tavor, say like Halftime Beverage in New York or any other kind of online site, Craft Shack. I don't know what their distro is as far as like getting into actual states, but here in Buffalo and Rochester, New York, we see them occasionally, and it is what it is. So yeah, I'm going to shut this one down for day 9. I'm really happy I saved this to the end. It's a fucking fantastic Imperial Cold Brew Coffee Stout. The pumpkin spice, I like that it just accentuates the rest of the beer, but it's not too big where I'd be like, oh, this is amazing pumpkin beer. It's just amazing beer. So if you've had this one before, in the comment section, appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. Stop by tomorrow for the 10th and final day of 10 Days of Pumpkin. It's going to be a duo review with Ryan over at Ryan's Beer Reviews. We're going to actually shoot that video a couple days after I actually review this one. So I don't know what I thought, or I don't know what I'm thinking about that one, just like I would normally if I was reviewing it. So looking forward to it. Heavy Seas, the Greater Pumpkin. It's a beer I haven't had in a very long time. Can't wait to get into it. Anyway, to the next one. Cheers.